Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to the penultimate Vlogmas video of 2018. I'm filming this on Sunday the 23rd of December, and it's officially the last video that I need to film and edit because I've already sorted tomorrow's, and I am feeling very excited about that, I won't lie. Now, I know that this video isn't strictly festive or Christmassy, but I was tagged to do it by the lovely Gabriella, who you might know as Velvet Ghost. I've watched her for years now, and the fact that she watches my videos and she supports me in return is just amazing. She's such a lovely person, and I had to get this in before the end of the year. So I'm going to be doing her brand new baby tag, and I'm really excited because I love me a baby tag and I love talking about baby names. Despite the fact that I am done having kids, there's still a lot of baby name magic up in my head right now. So let's get into it. Question number one, what is your favourite name from the Friends cast? And I'm going to go with Phoebe. Now, I know that Chandler's more unusual, and then you've got like cute names like Joey and that sort of thing, but I just think Phoebe is super cute. I have a few friends with daughters called Phoebe as well, and Phoebe was on my list anyway, so definitely going with Phoebe. Question number two, if you had triplets and had to use 3 winter themed names, what would they be? Any gender? I think firstly I would probably go for Noelle, which is not a name that I hear used that often anymore. Obviously it ties in with Christmas and that kind of thing, but Noelle would be my first one. The next name would have to be Gabriel, which obviously is Angel Gabriel, and Gabriel was actually on my list for boys for years, but Mark just didn't like it, so I'd have to go for Gabriel. And then the final one that I would go for would be January. I actually think it's a really cool and quite like edgy and unusual name, and I'm actually born in January as well, so that's what I'm going to go for. Then question number 3 is, if you had triplets and had to use any 3 summer themed names, what would they be? Again, any gender. So the first name that I'm going to go for is the name Leo, because that is a predominant star sign over the summer months, and it's also like the sign of the sun and the lion, so I think that would be a really nice summer name, and it's again one that's been on my list for quite a few years in terms of having babies. Then the next one that I'm going to go for, which I've already used, is Daisy, because it's a spring summer little resilient flower, and it is hands down my most favourite floral flower name that I've ever come across, and I just think it's delicate but strong and just so pretty. And then the final name would have to be Aurora, which typically means dawn, but that makes me think of like bright early mornings, and I just think it's such a gorgeous name, and I really like the fact that you can use Rory for short. Question number 4, what is your favourite typically English baby name? So for this one I'm going to give a nod to royalty and history, and I'm going to go with Arthur, King Arthur, because I just think it's such a classic name. Again, it was actually on my list for Stanley, and it makes me think of Sword in the Stone, and it's just such a old-fashioned but traditional name that never seems to fade with popularity, and I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. Question number 5, what are non-negotiable to your partner? So aka names that you are set on no matter what they think. Now for me this was Nell for Daisy's middle name. Nell was a bit of a bone of contention for a while. I'd agreed on Daisy, we thought it was both a great name, and that was initially his suggestion, but I was like, her middle name has to be Nell, and we battled back and forth for a good few months, and then when she was born, I would say it was probably, she was like a few months old, and Mark turns to me and goes, I actually really like the name Nell now. And I was like, you know when that is your girl's name, and I was just, I was raging at the time, but she couldn't be anything other than Daisy Nell now, and I think it really suits her, so I'm really glad that I put my foot down with that one. Question number 6, if you had to use a name from your favourite movie, which would it be? Now I'm a bit of a cliche when it comes to movies, and I would probably say that my favourites are The Notebook or Dirty Dancing, so in which case it would be like Ali and Noah, or Johnny and Baby, or Francis if you were going for that, but I would have to go with those names. Like I would love to say something really interesting, like my favourite movie is like a Star Wars movie, and I can use something a little bit otherworldly, but alas this is not the case. If you had to use a name from your phone contacts, which would it be? Right, let's get my phone contacts up, let's have a nosy. So I'm having a scroll now, I'm taking it that this would be a name for me, I'm trying to find the most unusual. I have quite a few that I really like in my phone book actually. I've got Giovanna as one. I've got Jane, who was my best friend when I was growing up. I think the one that I'm going to go for is Penny, because it's just such a cute name and it reminds me of the Hanson song, you know, Penny and Me. Really like that song because I probably have a quite questionable taste in music, but I'm going to go with Penny. Question number 8. What double-barreled name would you consider for a boy and a girl? Oh, okay, I can't do this one because typically I don't like double-barreled names. I can't get on with them at all, or at least like I've never ever come across any that like go, yeah, that's for me. Like when I hear them like day to day and I hear of like, say, you know, Darcy May, I've heard that a lot, and like different names like that, it never even occurs to me at the time to mind, like it's not my child, it's not my name. But when it comes to choosing them myself, like I can't actually think of anything that I would like at all. Is that really bad? It's probably really bad. Moving swiftly onwards. Question number 9. What Disney names would you choose for a boy and a girl? Okay, actually, I've just realised I've got 2 that were actually on our list and never even considered that before. The first one for a girl is Belle. Mark really likes this name. Belle or Bella was on our list. We weren't sure whether or not we were going to use it, but we just didn't feel like it went with Taylor particularly well. So Belle is my favourite Disney princess anyway from Beauty and the Beast, because I like the fact that she's really into books and she stands out from the crowd and she could see Beast's like inner beauty past that, you know, scary facade. And then the name that I really liked, because it's actually quite old-fashioned and traditional, and I had it on my list for Stanley but Mark pretty much like erupted with laughter in my face, is Eric. I really like Eric. So that's Prince Eric from A Little Mermaid. So yeah, Belle and Eric. Can you imagine? Belle, Eric, dinner time. I'm getting far too excited. Question number 10. What would you name brunette, blonde and red-haired children? So I'm specifically going for related names, I guess, in that sense. I really like the name Willow for a girl, and every time I see a Willow in my head, she has dark hair. She's like got dark hair and big blue eyes, and she's got like paler skin, and it reminds me of like it reminds me of winter in a way. I just think that would be really nice. And then for a blonde haired child, I would probably go for something like Sunny for a boy, so S-O-N-N-Y. That was on my list for Stan actually. I really like that name, and obviously it makes me think of sunshine and that kind of thing. And then for a red haired child, it's hard really because I don't want to go down that typical like flame, like red, that kind of theme. I do quite like the name Ruby or even Garnet, which is the birthstone for January and is also a red stone, so it's a little bit different. But I also think that a little red-haired little boy called Fox would be quite cool as well. But again, like naturally I wouldn't name a child based on their hair colour, I don't think. I'd never actually considered that before, because sometimes they're born with one colour hair and then the next minute, like in Bill's case, he was born as dark as anything and now he's like bright blonde, so you never know, you never know. Question number 11, favourite city or country themed name for a boy and a girl. So for city, I would probably, I think this one would be for a boy, I think, would be Sydney, because I quite like Sid, and I think that's quite a cute name, and it would be a different way of spelling it as well, because like typically if you wrote Sid it would usually be S-I-D, but Sydney can also be a girl's name as well. I know a few people that have got daughters called Sydney. But then for like a countryside name, I would probably have to pick Rosie. Like, because when I think of like, you know, like wild roses climbing up a country house or something like that, like Rosie is just so pretty, and that is another floral name that I've always loved and was on my list for Daisy as well. Question number 12, if you were to pick a Harry Potter themed baby name, what would it be? Now I'd love to go out there and be like Dumbledore, Dobby, Hagrid. Hermione I feel like would be a really obvious choice, as would Luna, but I'm gonna go with Ron. I quite like the name Ron, like Ronald. I just think that's really cute. Harry for me like is a really popular name, so I probably wouldn't go for that one. I'm trying to think if there are any others that like stand out, but one that I would actually use, I would probably say Ron. Yeah. Oh, and another one I've just remembered. In fact, the Weasley parents were really good with naming their children. I would love the name Ginny as a little girl's name as well. I think that was really sweet. Question number 13. If you had to use one of your friends' names, what would it be? Okay, I might need a moment with this one. Actually, I've got one. I've already mentioned it in this video, but I think I would go with Jane. And the reason being is that I have only ever met 2 Janes in my life, and people associate that name with like plain Jane, and it's a very simple like monosyllabic word like name. But I just think it's actually really beautiful, and it's like classy and simple, and I just think it's gorgeous. Jane. I'm going with Jane. Question number 14, what is your favourite space themed name? And I have 2. So for a boy, Cosmo is quite cool. I mean, I feel like it does make me think of like being upper class and going to boarding school and being quite wealthy, but it is a cool name. Like it'd be a cool like cat name or something like that. And then for a girl, this is actually a Harry Potter one, but Bellatrix, which is a star, I think, is it in Orion's belt? I'm gonna check that. Okay, I've looked. It's a star in the Orion constellation. Okay, I've been looking at this one and researching through. I have my female name, but I'm going to start with the boys one, and I'm going to go with Evander because I actually feel like it would be a name that you could use. And he was an Arcadian hero of the Trojan War, and he founded the city of Pelantium, and Evander actually means good man, so that's quite a nice name. And then for a girl's name, I would have to pick Juno, and we have technically used this name in our family because that is the name of my family dog, and I actually chose her name when I was a teen. And Juno is the wife of Jupiter and the queen of the heavens, and she was the protectress of marriage and women, and also the goddess of finance, so she sounds quite badass, to be fair. So yeah, I would go for Evander and Juno. And that is the end of this video. And you know something, I actually thought that was quite fun. In terms of tagging people, I am going to tag for this video, I'm going to tag my friend Katie, Mummy Daddy Me, that I'm sure you have watched before. I'm going to tag my friend Lucy from Lucy and the Bump. And then I'm also going to tag my friend Amy, and I think, Amy, that you pronounce your surname Farker. I hope that's how you say it, I really do. But I'm going to tag Amy because she's recently had a little boy, and I would love to know what other name ideas that she's got, because his name is absolutely gorgeous because it's Rupert and he's adorable. So I will leave all of these ladies linked down below as well. And yeah, that is the end of this video. And can I just take a second to wish you all a really fantastically merry, wonderful Christmas. You really deserve it. Thank you so much for your support and keeping me company for the past year, and here is to a brilliant 2019. Whew, okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.